But are we smart enough to learn from Europe's mistakes? Well, not if last week's Jobs Summit is any guide. There we had Twiggy Forrest claiming that Australia could be the Saudi Arabia of renewable energy, using wind and sunlight to produce endless green hydrogen, only forgetting that none of this has been proven at scale anywhere in the world, and doing it would require billions and billions from taxpayers. You can always trust a billionaire, can't you, to know where the subsidies are. And Forrest doubled down on this today, demanding that Australia now adopt the Greens policy to ban new coal mines and new gas extraction. During the election campaign, when, don't forget, Prime Minister Albanese was adamant that Labor would cut your power bill by $275 per household per year, Labor also admitted that new wind and solar power would require an $80 billion expansion to the grid, and you as consumers know who's going to pay for that. The PM doesn't talk much about cutting bills anymore, but he's still promising to boost real wages, his other big campaign pledge, but not based on last week's summit, through higher productivity. No, Labor's ways to boost wages via more union power. The sort of union power we've seen in New South Wales, where rolling train and bus strikes look as though they're designed to embarrass the Liberal government in the run-up to March's state election. For all the hoopla, last week's summit agreed just two things. First, multi-employer bargaining, something that even Bob Hawke and Paul Keating shunned, which is code for big unions bludgeoning wage rises out of small business. But that's what you get from a summit where 33 of the 142 invitees were union officials, and most of the rest were lobbyists or rent seekers. Now, the second outcome from the summit was a big sop to big business, and that was the agreement to raise the permanent immigration cap to $195,000 a year. Yet still, no one has come clean and explained how bringing in the equivalent of a new Canberra every 2 years is going to put wages up rather than down and make housing more affordable rather than more expensive. Now, I support immigration, absolutely, provided newcomers join Team Australia and have a job to go to from day one that's not taken off a local. But immigration at these levels, as we saw pre-pandemic, puts downward pressure on wages, upward pressure on housing, and clogs our roads and public transport. Cost of living is already the number one issue by far, and Labor's policies are just going to make it worse. More than doubling the percentage of renewable power in just 8 years means higher prices, more blackouts. And bringing unions into every workplace in the country means more strikes and less productivity. But can the Liberals provide a clear alternative? Well, that's the question.